that's where the really is, that's where the whole big society thing goes wrong. So that's where councils can really do a great job reaching out and helping these guys set up local websites. So that's what we're doing with them.
That was more along the lines of what I was thinking.
Right.
I prefer to see sort of my vision of the future.
Right.
Just really because I don't think that, I think that as soon as you start sticking a council brand on something, people will associate it with. Yeah, exactly. But the idea of being able to maybe not either have something which funds initial innovation or just allows people to go and get set up, then they can make it, if they need it to make money for themselves, then they can do that. It's quite easy, you plug in Google AdWords, it's very simple. But I think that that's really the vision that I would certainly like. You give people a bit of a kickstart, a bit of a head start, and then just let them roll.
But I think there's just slightly more than that. I'm just thinking that a lot of this is still currently about comfort zones, certainly where I am. And I like the police thoughts that we had earlier. I spend a lot of my evenings going to these packed meetings. Anybody else have them? Police and communities together meetings, endless things. You could do it this way, but actually the public meeting, man, dog, church warden, police, community warden, and that's about it, is the lowest common denominator that seems to be acceptable. It seems to me for this to take off, you've got to raise the game so that this sort of thing becomes the lowest common denominator. And that means moving out of the comfort zone of the non-technical person, the county councillor who feels it's going to go out of his control and things like that. And I think, trying to imagine how we take our common or garden pack process and do it this way would move an awful lot of people way out of their current comfort zones.
So here's a crack at traditional council comms. This is my King's Cross website. The local parks people, green spaces, they do a fair job, it's all right. We go to disagree with them. They spend a load of money producing a PDF, which they print and they send to people, and they send us the PDF, and we distribute the PDF.
But that's high tech to them.
Yeah, I know, it's bonkers, but we distribute a 3 meg PDF, to 500 people a day. Look at the website, which, as you said, is as many people as watch Newsnight. Just to give you an idea of scale. And you can see, look, something that takes this long to load, I don't really want on my website. Most things are kind of we ought to we work. There we go. Oh, bless it. Look, it's a lovely leaflet in 4 colours that presumably costs a fortune to print and distribute.
But I think the drive for documents like that comes from the elected members a lot. I'm currently putting together our policing plan for Lincolnshire Police. Bloody nightmare. Nobody reads it. It's a waste of time. Please don't quote me on that because I'll get in trouble. But it is a waste of time. But it's taken up weeks of my time, and it's all the elected police authority members, and all of whom are elected, want this glossy PDF, and that's what's going to be released as. Actually, the real information is a tenth of that could be put on 2 or 3 web pages, much more conveniently, and probably will be.
I think, to be fair, though, there is also a pressure on elected members and council officers to be inclusive, and there's a real fear that not everybody's online. We've got to make sure we carry on producing stuff offline. So that's why you have these things like these PDFs and print, and I think that's appropriate. That's an appropriate concern.
Yeah, absolutely.
But often it's them who are unrepresented.
Sorry, it's response.
Yeah, after that. I was just going to raise a point. I did some research myself as part of an MSc last year into attitudes of council officers as compared to residents into hyperlocal sites. And one of the findings I had there was about council officers were concerned that local sites weren't representative, so that they represented niche kind of communities, and that's why they weren't willing to engage with them in a number of situations. So that was kind of mirrored that. The other thing I was going to say, just going back to the thing about the police earlier, is I think we've got to get away from thinking just about being a local council, whether we should engage with these sites. It's about partnership engagement. We've been doing a project in Cambridgeshire where we've been working in partnership with other public agencies, and I think it's absolutely critical that all those agencies and the voluntary sector and community centres and all these different groups, parish councils, we've all got to find out a way to work together with residents who are sort of using these technologies, because otherwise, we can't keep working in our silos, and that to me is what localism is really about. But so maybe we need to start looking at the relationships we have and how we work together on these things. And in fact, in Cambridgeshire, our Cambridgeshire Police are working with Talk About Local on a couple of sites. They're very keen, very much involved.
We're much like Amusement, we're helping them redo the Neighbourhood Watch website in Cambridge, which is a big old thing. It's been going for like 6-7 years, their website. This is Michelle's project in Cambridgeshire, Sheffield Place. Now, when she started this, I was a bit sceptical about it because I thought, oh no, whatever they do, it's going to be a top-down council, blah, that I was going to take part in. But actually, I've been very impressed that the huge efforts they've gone to actually try and be kind of level and that everybody's equal on the forum, it's not dominated by council voice, and it's rather interesting. Quite interesting way of doing it.
You've got a case study published on that, haven't you?
Yes, on the community practice site. Yeah, yeah.